Hello, I'm Zach Lenwright. I just want to talk about a few of the things I'm working on for the next version of Looper that I've been working on for like the last month and a half. I'm going to start out with a broken file, actually. And the reason it's broken is because the event that's linked to this event, or the file that's linked to this event, this here, cannot be found. And the old version, it would just put up a dialog that says, this file cannot be found. I wrote a routine that not only finds the file, but also replaces the file in all the events that don't have it. So, first off, every other event in this looper file is correct, as a link to a file that plays. So this one will play. And it's the same event over and over again, but like this one is good. This one is not found. So it'll ask, do you want to try to find it? You say yes. It'll pop this dialog up asking where the file has moved to. And then you can navigate to a different path and find the file, which is this one here. So when I double click this, it will relink the file to the original event. See, now you see it's changed here to, actually it hasn't been changed yet. But this will ask if you want to replace just that version, that event, or if you want to look through the entire looper list and replace every version of that file that doesn't exist in the list with the new path that you just found. So say yes, it will replace every single one of them with the new file that you found. You can also choose to just do the one event if you don't want to change the other events with the new file. And then it'll ask, once it's done all this, if you want to save the new file or the changes that you've made to the looper file when you found that extra file back to the original file, the original looper file. So say yes, and then overwrite it. You can also save a new one, like if you want to save two different versions, but I've since overwritten it. So when you reopen it, you see the new file is found and is in the list. That's one of the main changes I've made. Actually, the main change I've made is no longer do I have the highlight colors and the bold text, because I think that routine is what was screwing everything up with the last version and why there were crashes that people were reporting if you did too many things at once. Because the problem was it was redrawing the whole thing every single time there was a change. So what I've done instead is just put this little arrow next to the current event that's playing. So you see it move from one to the other. Okay, so that's that. Let me find another file here to do more tests. The add event dialog here is a new window that it's similar to the other one, but instead of putting the speed and the name next to each other, it's three separate boxes. So you can call this like squirrel. The speed gets taken from whatever the speed that's currently playing at, but you can also enter it manually. So if I want to say, let's say half speed. And this is the other big change that I've done in this version. Several people have asked me for a event-based loop system where if you're in playlist mode, you can play things one or a certain amount of times. So let's just say I want to play this one 5 times. So it plays at half speed 5 times. The L name here tells Looper that it wants to play, or that it needs to play 5 times in loop mode, or in playlist mode, sorry. So when you go to playlist mode, starting with this event here, put it in playlist mode. When it goes to 15, which is this event here, you'll see it play that loop 5 times and then go back to 1. So here it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it'll jump back to event 1 because it's done with that group of loops. For some reason though, and I have to work on this, it doesn't always display the right status thing as it's looping. See, that's 1, it should go to 2 here. And it has been, but for some reason it doesn't do it now. I think I have to add a delay, so now it's 4 and 5. But that's what it does. So, for example, this one here is a different file. And in this one I have a whole bunch of things set up. So this plays at 40% twice. This will play 3 times. This will only play once, but it's at 40% speed. This plays 5 times, and then this one go 40% speed and play 4 times. One's in playlist mode. So 1, 2, jump to the next event, which will play 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can't find the third one. Okay, let's try the event finding thing. This was, I believe, this one? Yeah. So we're refinding it, and I'm going to say I don't want to link it to all of them, which will only link it to the one. So I found that file. I don't want to save it just now. So that plays at 40%. This will loop 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this will go to 40% and play it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it will go back to event 1, which once again plays at 40% twice. This will play 3 times. That's 40%. Yeah, so that plays at 40%. The next one goes to 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still ironing out some of the things. It's not, I'm still doing testing and bug fixes and all that and trying to make sure everything is streamlined before I release the next one, hopefully in about a week or so. So I'm doing all these changes and things to get all that stuff set. Okay, one other addition that someone asked me for in a bug request or bug track, whatever, was the ability to change the mode here from like loop to playlist mode and then have it save that as it's opening new files. So when you choose this new option here, keep the current mode setting when opening new files. Usually when you open a file, it'll jump back to loop mode every single time you open a new file. So if I turn that off, and I see I'm in playlist mode at the moment, if I go to this one here, it'll jump back to loop mode and start over the way it normally would. That's how most looper files are. That's how looper was previously written. Now, if you're in playlist mode here, let me actually load the original playlist for this so it doesn't skip all over the place. So this is the same thing, it's just, instead of looking at 2 files, it's only looking at 1 file. Just for more streamlined testing here. Anyway, when you switch to playlist mode here, you see it's going to playlist mode. It's in playlist mode, so when I change this here, keep the current mode setting, save preferences. When I open this other one, it will also be in playlist mode when I open it. You see it's in playlist mode, and once again, that will play twice. This will go and play 3 times. 2, 3. Once again, I didn't save that file, so it still can't find it because I didn't save the changes back to it. So let's locate it one more time. It's in this folder. So yes, I want to link it. Not all of them. I want to save it. Yes, I do. So now when I open that one more time, you'll see that all the file paths are correct. But you also see it's in playlist mode. So if I open another looper file, it will also be in playlist mode. This second event is very short. That's why it's so quick. But once again, if I wanted to like change this and say, okay, this one here, I want to play this 20 times. So now it's 1, 2, 3. It just keeps playing when you go into playlist mode. See, it's repeating 6, 7, 8, 9, and it'll keep counting up until 20, and then it'll go back to event 1, which is the first one, right there. Okay, let me open one more file here. No. And see, it's in playlist mode, but you can't really tell because there's only one event in that one. So let me load this again. But you see, every time you open a new looper file, it will open in playlist mode. It won't jump back to loop mode every time you open a new file. You can also have it, if you have this set, the loop mode setting, and this set, when you load looper from beginning, like from the very beginning, let me save this here. What I mean by very beginning is like launching it from nothing. Like right when you open it for the very first time, it will open the file you open in playlist mode or whatever mode you had set last. So let's go to this one. It will open it in playlist mode and play from there. Sorry. Actually delete these events. That's why it keeps skipping here. Well, it doesn't really skip. It's because it's loading 2 different files, so it has to reopen the next file. So delete these ones here, just for a test. And let me save this. What I'm saying is when you open it, it will open it in playlist mode here. See? So straight from nothing, just opening a looper file from very beginning, playlist mode. We'll do the same thing in shuffle mode. So let me save. Actually, I don't need to save, but it's in shuffle mode. Save this again. change the loop mode button setting. So when I open it, it will open it in shuffle mode. The very first file is 4. And now it's playing. Okay, 5 is next, but next one will be 1. See, so now it's opening in shuffle mode. So if I close everything and load this one, it will also be in shuffle mode. And shuffle mode also plays the same way with the repeats. So if there's a shuffled event that's like, it's told to play 5 times, like this one, it will play 5 times. Goes to the next one, which is that one. Speeds at 40, but it only plays once. Next one, speeds at 40 and it plays 4 times. So there's 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So playback is different because I show the arrow instead of the colors. I save the ability to change the mode and keep it, so you don't always have to jump back to loop mode, which you can always just turn off easily just by turning that off. Save preferences. So if I load a new one, it will load in loop mode. So that is also reversible. And the add event dialog is different. If you don't want anything to be repeated in any weird way, you just put 0 in here. So the way this is laid out right now is exactly the way it was before. This is 100, this is 0, so there's absolutely nothing custom for this. So you just do test event. And then if you wanted to do the same thing but play it at 50%, you do second test. See, now it's at 50, so it plays at half speed. But when you go to playlist mode, it plays each thing 1 time. So let's say you wanted to play the third thing 5 times. You do this. Click 2. Jumps to 3. Plays it 5 times. 4, 5. Then it jumps to the next event. Next event. So that's also changed, and the ability to find files that I cannot find. Let's see. Let me just, for a test here, let me delete this file or move it. Actually, I don't really want to move it because it's a big file, but, well, it's not that big. Let me just delete it quickly. No. Where's that file? This one. Don't delete it for good, but see, when I open that up again, it'll say, cannot find file. And then we put it back. Okay, it's back. So when I locate it, I will find it here. Squirrels. There it is. The other thing, for the find file dialog, I have it either matching the file directly, so it'll only find files that have that name, BBFP1398, or you can have it look at all files that have that extension, or you can just do like that. But right now, we're only looking for that file. There it is. Want to replace all of them. That's good. Save, overwrite, and there we go. So now it's right back to where it needs to be. Shuffle mode, everything. So that's the main amount of changes that I've done since the last version. Without the custom color molding thing, it should be much more stable. That was one more extra addition that I put in the last one, just basically to differentiate which events are showing. But this is better, it's more streamlined, and there's less for it to do, so it's not as, I mean, it wasn't a huge resource hog, but it's less so now.